Welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror movie, and they discuss it. Today we're talking about 1989's Society, which was directed by Brian Yunza. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Erik.
Also, this officially came out in 1989. It was made in 1989, but I guess it came out in America in 1992, so...
No way. That's why I was so confused. That's why I texted you. I was like, is this the right one to watch? Because I'm seeing like a 1992 on the what did I watch at YouTube? It was saying 1992.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the same movie, but I guess it was released in London in 1989 and then in America in 1992, even though it was an American movie.
So it's 89. Let's be real. It's an 80s movie.
Oh, big time 80s movie.
Yeah. If you watch this, you're like, this is not the 90s.
No. I mean, I feel like every decade has that, like, hangover year, you know, where it's like 2020 was a lot like, you know, the 2010s. It's not like a brand new decade, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this was the first time for me seeing this. I know it was the first time for you, too. What were your initial thoughts, Erik?
My initial thoughts is I think Alec's going to love this movie. That's what it's 80s. It's like beautiful blonde women. It's that's number one where I was like, oh, Alec's going to love this movie when we see... what's her name, Jenny, show up, the sister. I was like, there we go. Alec's going to love this movie. I thought you already saw it, too, and that's why you picked it. I was like, oh, this is why I'm watching this.
No, the reason that I picked this one is because of Re-Animator and From Beyond. It's, like, the same guy that, like, produced all of those movies, and, like, I enjoyed those. I thought those were cool. And I'd heard this one was, like, right up that alley, just, like, very cerebral, very strange. So, I don't know. I thought I'd give it a shot. It's probably my least favorite of all of those, but it was still fun. It's interesting.
Reminds me of like Cronenberg movies, kind of, especially with the special effects at the end.
Yes, it was very much like Cronenberg. Kind of reminded me a little bit of like They Live, a little bit. Just kind of like, I don't know what's going on. Remember, you know, you remember They Live, obviously the John Carpenter movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We did that one before with Joe.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I enjoyed it. I was kind of just like confused what the point of it was, though. You know.
It felt fever dreamish, where it's just like, this doesn't make any sense. And that's where it's like, it felt like a dream the whole time. You know, It's just bouncing around. It was very fever dreamish, if I had to describe it. Yeah,
so I guess I'll give just like a brief overview of the film. Basically, it's about this family in Beverly Hills, and there's their son, Billy, and then there's his sister and their parents. And they're all just like really waspy, like very entitled rich people. But Billy doesn't really fit in. He never felt like he has. Everybody treats him differently. He definitely, like, I guess, doesn't really look different, but just behaves different than everybody around him. And we find out that, yeah, something is going on. And his sister and the parents and, like, everybody is involved in this, like...
cult kind of thing. But, like, it's like a different species cult. It's not aliens. They made that clear. Mm-hmm. It's like, we've been here just as long as humans. But we run this town. Like, we run this shit. Like, we're Washington, D.C. We're the, like, government. Like, we are the society.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, they're like the 1%, basically. And what I had heard is they're not aliens, but it was like a parasite that was on Earth or whatever. And it basically just, like, took over a certain amount of people. And those are the people that, like, control the media, control, like, the government, control money, like the banks. It's like those people, the society. So yeah, so it's like an interesting idea. It's an interesting concept.
I mean, it's pretty much what's going on with Oprah Winfrey and, like, you know.
What do you mean?
You see the South Park episode where they like did like Oprah like eating babies and stuff? I don't know. Just stay young. I don't know.
What?
It's kind of like that. I don't know. That sounds crazy.
Okay.
Wasn't that a South Park? That might have been not been South Park. I don't remember where I saw that.
South Park had Oprah's like vagina had a gun.
I forgot what the. Yeah, I'll have to get back to that. Sorry.
No, yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's just about, like, yeah, the 1% that, like, control things, but apparently they, like, feed on young, poor people, but that was what I didn't really understand, because they want to feed on Billy, who's their, like, adopted son, right?
Yeah, because he's been brought up in their society, pretty much, so it's like he has, like, the good nutrients of a rich person.
Yeah, but he's not. So, like, he's basically like some poor kid, some poor orphan that got stolen as a baby and then raised by the rich people so that, like, he could be fed upon.
Shunting. They call it shunting, right? Like, we're going to shunt this guy. It's like, okay, what the hell's that?
Yeah.
Pretty much they, like, go into someone, like liquid dyes, like a slug would, like, get inside of you, pretty much.
Well, I think it's like you're actually absorbing them. Like, you're sucking the life out of them. Yeah, so like that's what I think this whole movie is just leading up to that final like 15 minutes where it's just like this extravagant orgy of just these people sucking this guy's body like into them. It's so weird. It's indescribable, and I definitely don't recommend eating like spaghetti or anything while you're watching it because it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those movies. If you're like 5 and you catch the wrong part of this movie, you're messed up for life. There's a lot of weird shit, like that shower scene where she's like backwards.
Oh yeah,
like no 5-year-old should see that, but it happens.
Yeah, it's definitely like a very grotesque movie. But the special effects guy's name is Screaming Mad George. Apparently, he's like an amazing special effects artist who's worked on so much. Like, have you ever seen Re-Animator?
I feel like we've done that together. Didn't we do that one?
No, we did From Beyond, but you weren't on that episode.
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't. Then I don't think I've seen Re-Animator. I'm also thinking of the Blondie movie, Videodrome.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't think I saw Re-Animator, no.
Okay, so Re-Animator's kind of like what kicked this guy, Brian Usna and Stuart Gordon. They're like the creative force behind that. And I believe this Screaming Mad George guy might have worked on it too. I don't know. But dude, he's the guy that created like The Predator. He did Big Trouble in Little China. He did Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Nightmare on Elm Street 4. This guy's like big in the special effects departments, dude. Like he's crazy. And like imagine this movie, like that final scene, he designed all of that, dude.
Yeah, really impressive, and it's all real. That had no CGI from what I saw.
Oh, zero CGI. It's all practical. Yeah, and the one thing is, before I forget, all of the goop and stuff that was like on everybody apparently was what they put inside of jelly donuts before it gets colored. So
it must be really sticky.
It's really.
I'm just picturing that. It's like that Jenny character. Even like, what's this stuff? It's like you're gonna just have a little on your face, and that's it. Like she was not covered like the rest of the cast. If you noticed, like everyone else was like drenched in it, and she's like, I don't know. Like I don't jive with that.
I'm not doing that. Well, do you know who Jenny, or was it not Jenny? Who is his girlfriend? Like the girl he's hooking up with the whole time. What was her name?
It's gonna bother me. Let's check real quick.
Clarissa.
Oh, not his girlfriend. The girl he's hooking up with. Yeah, Clarissa.
So yeah, she was like a Playboy model.
Okay, very attractive woman.
Yeah, I was like, where is this girl in high school? I don't remember seeing girls like that.
It's just funny. Like he straight up cheats on his girlfriend right away. Like not even a hesitant like move at all. And he's at the party that she wanted to go to. So it's like, dude, you're really messing this up.
Yeah, he's a pretty shitty boyfriend. But I mean, I feel like he's on the verge of like a mental breakdown.
I think that's the problem. Like he's like not even there at that point.
Yeah. I mean, he still wants to have sex with that Clarissa girl, though. So.
who's a like a shapeshifter too, because he like starts to realize like she's backwards and stuff. This movie's fucking crazy now that I think about it.
It's so weird. Yeah, so like Billy basically just like is going through the motions. Like he's going to school and he's slowly discovering that like creepy stuff's happening all around him. There's a lot of people in his school that are involved in the society. His parents are clearly involved in the society. His therapist is involved in the society.
Yeah.
But the first thing that we really find out, like what really kicks this off is Billy's sister, who's about to, get taken into the society. Her boyfriend is not part of the society. He's some guy named Blanchard, and he's just like some kind of like creep.
I don't think that's her boyfriend. I think this was like a stalker.
Oh, really?
That's what I picked up. And that, like, he was snuck in her room, and she's thinking, oh, this creep just snuck in my room. But really, he was trying to find out about the society. He didn't want to, like, spy on her body or anything. She was changing at the time, so it was a bad look.
Wow.
But he was trying to bug her earring. And did they say boy? I don't see her dating him.
When his sister's ex-boyfriend, David Blanchard, gives him a serendipitous recorded audio tape. I've never even seen that word. Surreptitious? But yeah, it says when his sister's ex-boyfriend, David Blanchard. But anyways.
Oh, so he was his... Okay, that's I didn't know that.
Because the parents were like, I thought we weren't going to see him around anymore. It's like, you won't, Daddy. Like that sort of thing. So it's... I don't know, whatever. So he records... he puts a recording device inside of his ex-girlfriend's earring, inside of Billy's sister's earring. They record her, like, society meeting...
Doing the shunting to someone else, and it's like the wackiest recording ever.
Yeah, it sounds like an orgy. It sounds like they're about to have sex. Everything is like a sexual innuendo, basically. It sounds like it sounds like his.
Well,
sister...
it was a transmitter, dude. He didn't like get the earring back, and it like had the record. It was like he recorded it from the earring, and he had to be close by and recorded it.
Yeah, because it's like a wiretap. It's like an old school wiretap. But yeah, so it sounded like his parents and his sister were all having an orgy together with a bunch of people. So it's like, it's really like gross.
Incestual, like underage stuff going on, like crazy stuff. It's like way too much to think about.
Yeah. Seriously, high schoolers, yeah.
I don't know about underage, but you know what I mean? Like young versus like 70-year-olds and stuff. It's a huge gap.
And they even say
and
that.
your parents. Ugh.
I know, it's so gross.
Not even like your brother. Like Game of Thrones, I don't think even did parents.
Yeah, they did. They had that one like creepy guy that lived in like the woods with all of his daughters.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh my god.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so that's kind of what kicks off this whole thing. Then we think that David Blanchard gets murdered. We think he gets in like a car crash, and it just seems like basically everybody that Billy talks to that like starts to believe him like dies or disappears. So he really does feel like he's by himself, except for his one friend Milo, and that guy's got his back.
Well, the only other two people are his girlfriend Shauna and Milo, his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two people outside of this entire movie, pretty much. Unless I'll bring someone else up in a second, but literally everyone else is in this society.
And you'd think his girlfriend Shauna, like you'd think she was part of the society, you know, because she looks like she fits the mold, but she's not.
She wasn't. Yeah, I don't remember seeing her at the end.
No, she wasn't. Neither was Milo. So, and that was kind of weird because at the end, Milo is walking around in a police uniform, and like nobody's like, "Hey, who the fuck is this guy?" Like they clearly all know each other, but whatever. Hey, who are you gonna bring up?
I was just gonna bring up the you mentioned Clarissa, her mother. What the hell was that about? Dude, that was insane. That made no sense. So was she in the society? Because she tackles someone in the society at one point. So I'm like, so her daughter's in the society, but Mrs. Carolyn isn't. What the hell? That was just the biggest out of left field thing I've ever seen in my life. Like almost like I don't know. Was it like a transgender kind of looking thing or like a drag queen kind of thing going on?
I don't know. No idea, but yeah. So let's talk about that character. So like, it's a woman, but like,
yeah, she's played by a woman. Yeah,
but it sounds like a man dubbed over the voice. But the first time we see him or her is on the beach when Billy just like walks into her, and then later on we find out that's Clarissa's mom, but she's coughing up hair like she just came from a shunting ceremony. So you're like, wait, what?
And then she kind of like slowly saves the day only because her daughter was hit.
Yeah, but what is she doing? She's like waiting outside, walking around with Milo. Milo's like, oh, you can come with me, like weird lady, but like don't touch my hair. Like, what is this fucking movie?
And was she trying to kill Milo at one point? Like it looked like she was about to slit his throat. Like, dude, it was nuts. That was the craziest part. And then she's like, she finds someone's wig and she's like, oh. It's weird.
That was so weird. And there's like no explanation. That's probably the one thing I really wanted, was there to be some like grandiose explanation at the end. Not the like, we're a different race, we're a different species. Like not that whole thing. I wanted like in depth, this is what we do. This is why we did this. We took you from your parents as a baby. Like I wanted that. Because we don't know how Billy got in this whole situation. We really don't.
And I just want to say this, and I mean no offense to the actress Pamela Matheson, but in what genetic way is Clarissa your daughter? Like Devin the Vasquez, she's like ethnic. Like it makes no sense. I'll just say that in general.
I mean, I don't know.
From a genetic standpoint, it makes zero sense.
I mean, it genuinely makes no sense. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. This movie's fucking crazy.
I mean, the guy that directed it is super weird. Brian Yunza. If you see, like, we should do Re-Animator because it's a good movie.
Oh, this guy, did he write it too? Did he write this?
No, he didn't actually. He just directed it.
Okay, whoever wrote this is out of their mind. Crackhead.
What? It's a crackhead. You want to know what this guy did write, though?
What?
You might find this interesting. He wrote the script for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That makes no like this. You could have given me 10,000 movie guesses, and I don't think maybe 5,000, and I wouldn't have hit Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Okay. I don't think I would. That's the last movie I'd pick from this movie. Like the same writer as this movie. It's like, oh, dude, he had to have wrote like some crazy episodes of like Ozark and the Game of Thrones. I don't know, the crazy incestual things would pop through my head.
Nope.
But
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah. So
makes
he wrote
fucking no sense. Absolutely no sense. But I appreciate the variety.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
It's wild. That's not like a John Hughes movie, like a coming of age writer. No, this guy is like a spectrum if that's the case.
I mean, I think Re-Animator's by far the best thing that he was involved with. I mean, Re-Animator's actually really good. And then From Beyond was really cool too, but yeah, this one...
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like it. I like it. I might watch this again.
I guess there was a sequel that they were making called Society 2 Body Modifications. I mean, this could go into a sequel territory. Everybody survives.
The whole society technically survives. Everyone's still involved, right?
Everybody survived except for Blanchard, you know, because they shunt the hell out of him. Oh, and then the bully dude.
Ferguson.
Yeah, Billy shoves his hand up Ferguson's ass all the way through his body and stabs his hand through Ferguson's face.
That was crazy. So I think when I saw that, I was like, okay, so Ferguson's shunting Bill, but Bill, what does he do? He shunts Ferguson. Can he shunt? Is he one of these people in secret and they didn't know about it? Or is he just like, you're shunting me and you're like you're loose and I can just mess you up still? Because that's what happened. It's clever. It's like imagine, hey, how do I describe it?
No, I think shunting, what it is basically it's almost like a bunch of these, whatever these parasite people are, they need to get close to you. They kind of all start slowly sucking your life force out, which turns your body into goo so that you can kind of just shove yourself into them and absorb what you want to take. That's what I thought. Yeah. But that's a good point, though, because it makes it seem like, wait, so is Billy actually one of them and they didn't know that?
I don't know. I think it's more like getting put in a headlock and being able to switch it to headlocking him. So without having any superpowers or anything, he just was able to shunt him while he was shunting. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, but he did.
So it's when he shunts, his body becomes loose too. And Bill was like, I wonder if anyone's tried literally fisting him. That's what shunting is technically too.
Yeah. You turn them into a puppet essentially. You shove your whole arm inside of them and turn them into a puppet. Huh. Yeah. So the shunting's very strange, but yeah, so that's what happens. Billy kills his bully, escapes with Clarissa, who is a member of this crew, so I don't know what the hell that's about. But dude, that the sequel that could have worked, you know, because maybe they have to go after Clarissa.
Or maybe they're just on the run, and the society's after them, they're trying to get out of Dodge. And the whole movie is the society, other characters trying to... We got to get as far away from Washington, D.C. as possible, and they go to Russia or something.
Dude, why didn't they make this... Well, I mean, I don't think this movie did very well.
I mean, considering it came out in England and then 5 years later came out in... And let's see if there's any details on that.
Nah, there's nothing on Wikipedia, at least.
Box office? Was this in the box office?
Nothing on Wikipedia, but I don't...
Yeah, then that's probably why. But it's a movie. It's a movie, dude, and it's out there.
Yeah, it exists.
It's interesting. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad at all. I think the special effects are something out of this world. Very trippy. Yeah, like I said before, if you're a kid and you catch the end scene with a guy saying he's a butthead, you're messed up for the rest of your life. Absolutely. I'm so glad I didn't catch this one on TV.
Yeah, no channel's gonna put this on TV. I mean, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, because some of these images are going to stick with me. I'm going to remember this. And if I was 5, I'd remember it even more.
It just feels like there's a disconnect with all of the actors. It doesn't feel like they're all in the same movie. It's a very off the walls kind of performance from everybody. I liked Billy though. I thought he did a good job.
Billy's acting was good. I thought he did the best acting, but there's some lines that are delivered so bad.
Fuck you, butthead, or whatever. That line's pretty bad.
Well, that was Billy, I think, but he was probably the best one, to carry this movie.
Well, I got a couple little bits of trivia for you about Billy, the actor that played him.
Hit me,
dude. You're gonna love this. I actually thought you would have looked it up. So,
I've barely looked up anything.
All right, so Billy Warlock, that's his name, the guy that played him. His dad played Michael Myers in Halloween 2. He was the guy that actually played physical Michael Myers. And so was this guy. He was also in Halloween 2. He's the kid with the boombox who walks into Michael Myers in Halloween 2.
Oh, that's cool. I know exactly that scene.
Yeah. Yep. So that's him.
So he's not Nick Castle's son. What's his dad's name?
Dick Warlock.
Dick Warlock, that's right. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and his dad's a really famous stunt double, but he played Michael Myers in Halloween 2, and he was also one of the androids from Halloween 3. He was Kurt Russell's body double and a lot of stuff too. So that was his dad. So I don't know, but I guess he quit acting, Billy Warlock, after a couple of years. But I liked him.
No, I'm looking it up now. He seems like he's done a few things on television. His film career, he's in a bunch. 1989, the 80s were where he was big. 81 to 89, he did a couple movies, Baywatch Hawaiian Wedding. And then in the 90s, he did like Days of Our Lives, like Baywatch stuff, NYPD Blue, General Hospital, Young and the Restless. So he bounced around the TV world. It looks like 2010 was his last credited thing he's done. So, I mean, he's definitely stayed in the business. That's cool.
Yeah, he was a soap opera star for a long time, it looks like.
Good looking guy, good head of hair for sure.
Oh my god, yeah.
Very good head of hair.
He just reminded me of kind of like Emilio Estevez. I don't know, just like in the 80s.
You know what he reminded me of when we first saw him was Marty McFly. That's what he reminded me of.
Yes.
When he was like with the knife. I thought like, oh man, he looks a lot like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, he really does. Yeah, well, they all kind of look like that. And honestly, not gonna lie, I don't mind the mullet. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it. I don't mind. Bring it back. I think mullets are coming back, especially like Australia. Apparently, that's like the haircut out there still. Mullets are back in, dude, hard.
Well, I think the thing is like when I think like a mullet, I think like Joe Dirt, you know, and like that's not cool. But
that's a long-haired mullet. You need like a nice. The party in the back can only go from like noon to 3. You don't want it to go to like midnight. You want it to like go like a depth where it's okay. I used to have not a mullet, but like long hair in high school, where I'd have it like past my shoulders almost at one point, but never that far. I never had a mullet.
Because the front of your hair was always kind of the same length as the back of your hair, so that's never been a mullet. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You need to like really chump the front of it off.
Front, yeah. No, it's not too late. It's never too late to get a mullet.
That's really not.
What's funny, I got my hair cut about a week ago, and the lady was like, how do you want it? And I just show her a picture of me like that doesn't look like me anymore.
It's you.
That kind of like it's me. It's a picture of me. I'm like, this is how I like it. It's from like 15 years ago, and she's like, okay. And they try their best, but they can never succeed to make me look 15 years younger. We were joking, and I was like, oh, do you get those kids coming in asking for those like Patrick Mahomes curly hair on the top, and like, you ever see those haircuts of the kids like today? I'll send you a picture. I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's corny. They have like curly hair on the top, and the sides and back are like completely trimmed. And she's like, oh my god, I love giving that haircut. And I'm like, oh god, really? And then she's like, you know what's coming back is mullets. I've been asked to give mullets to a lot of people too. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, that's going to be the new trend.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, I don't know if I should take your word for that, but I mean, if mullets do come back, Alec, I think it's the time.
I mean,
to 2023, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna mullet.
Everything comes in waves.
Yeah, for the summer, I'm gonna get a mullet and then like cut it off by August.
Maybe you can rock it, dude.
I think I could rock a mullet. I really do.
Yeah.
Just for a bit.
I think it'd be fun. So there was one line in this movie that I was just kind of like, what does that mean? And then I looked. Obviously, you find out later. But dude, when they call Blanchard bagel breath, I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And then later on, you found out he's Jewish because they go to like the funeral and it's like at a temple. And I was like, oh my god! Like,
I'm so happy you said that before me because it's like, I think I know what that means, but I don't want to say it out loud. Is it like a Jewish like slur?
I'd never heard that before. Like, you know, just ever. So I was like, what the hell's bagel breath mean?
What? Like you like? Is it like a New York thing? I didn't.
I mean, I guess like bagels are associated with like Jewish culture, I guess. But I mean, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I never thought. I just thought like bagels are bagels, like, you know. But when they said bagel breath, I was like, this is super weird. And then when they go to the funeral, I connected. I was like, that's such a odd like.
Are you sure? Like, come on. What could it be? Like an onion? I don't know. That's funny.
I don't know. It's just such a weird thing that he said. It stood out to me so much that he said that. I don't know. It's just a very strange thing to call somebody. But all right, you know what? The music was very 80s. I liked it. It was very just like synth, over the top, you know, dramatic.
Yeah. Okay. I just had to look it up. It is a slang term for Jewish. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, there could be a different thing, but no, it is bagel breath. Sorry, back to bagel breath. My bad.
Oh, you know what was pretty funny was the Screwhead doll and then the blow up doll that said Clarissa on it. I'm like, what?
Who did that? Was that Ferguson?
It was Milo.
Why? This is his friend.
I know. But he admitted to it later. He's like, yeah, I did that, dude. The ending just like lost me so much.
What?
Yeah,
I know. Also, so he's got a Letterman jacket on. He's running for the debate club. I thought they were running for president or something, but it's like a debate club. Never seen anything like that in my life. Yeah,
that was very strange, and I feel like they filmed that like very cheaply, where it's just like there was nobody in the audience when they were filming it, probably, you know, because they never show a scene of like them in one shot.
And that's how we like kind of introduce Clarissa, right? As like this woman who is like spreading her legs during this thing, and he's like, we should have a dress code.
Yeah.
We should definitely have a dress. That's all his brain was thinking. It's like everyone there was like, what the hell is Bill saying?
Yeah, and then his girlfriend sees him looking at that, and she freaks out. I'm like, this movie's really weird.
It's crazy. I liked it though. I liked it a lot. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. As like fever dreamish, special effects wise. It like even at the end, like the shunting, and then they break out and it's daylight.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Because that feels like a crazy night. You know, if it was still night out, I'd be like, it wouldn't be as cool. But it was daylight when they busted out. I was like, geez, that's like must be like 8 a.m. now.
Well, because they were in there for a long time. I mean, imagine.
Yeah, but like that's the stuff that really like I caught my attention. I like that stuff.
Yeah. No, the whole shunting scene. I mean, did you have like a favorite thing?
Favorite thing? I mean, I just like the special effects from like the girl in the shower to like the ending when they're like they have these like noses that are attached to you pretty much, like almost they're just kind of like the Beetlejuice heads like stuck on you.
Yeah.
Thought that was really cool. I just loved all the special effects at the end and at the beginning, and like when it would show up, really made me think how they were able to pull it off, which is pretty cool practical effects.
Yeah, I liked the hand, like it was like hand face. Remember that guy? Like at the really.
Yeah,
what
was
that? So weird. Yeah, it almost felt like Hellraiser for a little while. Like it got just like crazy.
There's a lot of that. Like this movie would never survive today because it'd be CGI and it wouldn't feel as cool.
No, it definitely wouldn't. It wouldn't be as impressive. The judge character was pretty weird. I mean, he seemed like he was running the whole thing, and he got Blancher's beauty mark because he like. It was so
he took
weird.
his nutrients. Like you take the life from them pretty much when you do that.
Well, I think you can choose like aspects of them that you want too. Like he chose that he wanted his beauty mark off of Blancher's.
I just like after all of that, he still like has that nasty ass cigar. It's like, oh, dude, that cigar must be so gnarly at this point.
It's just covered in like people guts and just like dude. When he pulls the bully, or what was his name again?
Ferguson, like
dude.
Inside Out.
Oh,
that was sick.
God.
That was sick.
That was. I couldn't even like look at that. That was really gross. Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're listening to this and you haven't seen this movie, we sound insane. We're talking about like all over the place.
You know what I'm thinking of right now? Like imagine like you as a older brother, and let's say you have like the gap between you and Jack, which is how many years?
It's like almost 13.
Imagine you're like 18 years old and Jack's like 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, Jack, you want to watch a movie with your big brother? And you just fucking traumatize him showing this. And it's just like, I could see a lot of brothers in the 80s and early 90s doing that and just being like, I'm going to mess this kid up. You're going to be sleeping with mom and dad forever.
I don't know if you would after seeing this movie. You would probably want to even go near your parents.
That's true too. Ugh. And his parent relationship felt so unreal. Like, are these your parents? Because you were acting like they're not your parents the whole time.
Well, I think they're supposed to be like those like cold, rich wasp parents. They're just like, oh yes, like we don't talk to you. Like,
yes. Oh, this peasant. If he's not president, then don't talk to me.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, it was so weird. And they're picking like the snails out in the garden. They're like, "That's our best one yet." And they're like, "Dude, yeah, just watch this movie." Because I feel like if you made it this far and you've been listening to us ramble, it's just like
it makes no sense if you haven't seen this movie and are listening to us.
This is a fever dream of a podcast.
I'm upset for you if you haven't seen this movie and have listened to us for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, because we're bouncing around, but everything we bounce around to is just more random. So, anyways,
a lot of good-looking women. The girlfriend hot, the sister's hot, the other girl's hot. Like there's a lot of like good looking people in this movie. That's one thing too.
Yeah, it's almost. I mean, I think that's like the 1%.
It's like eye candy.
It's like a soap opera almost.
It's like a beach scene and like a bathroom scene and a sex scene.
I will say I noticed in that beach scene, dude, every one of those people had horrible sunburn by the end. I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
You gotta wear sunscreen.
They needed sunscreen. They needed like an umbrella. Like
even like the girlfriend who like he got squirted with sunscreen. Mm-hmm. She had terrible sunburn on her stomach.
Yeah, you could tell they did not properly prepare for that day. The other thing, just sunscreen really quick before we're leaving. Dude, when Billy goes in to see what his sister's doing and she's showering and we see like her butt and her boobs are facing the same way.
And he goes in.
And she's like, what are you doing, Billy? He's like, I just came in here for this. And he's just got the sunscreen or whatever. And you're just like, dude, like even
You need aloe vera right now.
Yeah, well, that too. But I know what you just saw. Like, you saw your sister, what you think you saw. But, like, the way she's reacting right now, it's like you just walked in and saw your sister naked in the shower, and you're just standing there like, like, dude, get out of there.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that with Shannon, like my wife, like walking in on her. I was like, I just need my hair shampoo. Like, she'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
All right. Well, you got any last minute thoughts on the old society?
I do, actually. Oh. And this is a PSA. Wear sunscreen. If you think you're 30 SPF, wear 50 SPF. It'll help you out in the long run.
It is pretty nuts how much I've noticed, because I used to only wear 30 and I'd still burn, and now I wear 50 and I'm like,
gotta wear 50, man. At our age, we should always wear 50, especially on the face. That's my thought.
Okay, well, why don't you spin the old wheel then?
Let's do it. And also, before I spin the wheel, how tired are you right now?
Pretty fucking tired.
You pulled an all-nighter pretty much?
Pretty much.
Oh boy. We got through this podcast. I'm proud of you.
I know. I'm very tired, but
now you're gonna have little trippy dreams about this movie. All right, ready, and here we go. Spinning. Cape Fear.
Okay. So this is the one with Nick Nolte and Jessica Lange from 1991. It's Martin Scorsese. Okay, just so you know, it's that one. There's two versions.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the Martin Scorsese,
yes.
Jessica Lange. Yep. Right. Got it.
From 91. We also have Andy Danish as a guest. He was actually here before Eric when Joe was filling in for you. So you'll get to meet him officially. He's a very cool dude. Lives out here.
Cannot wait.
Cannot wait. He did the voice of Slinky Dog in the Toy Story video game. So you'll have to ask him to do his Jim Varn impression.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I forgot.
I'm so excited. You need to play this audio when we record with him. I'm freaking out right now. Yeah. Play with Slinky Dog. All right.
He's like, that's pretty good. All right, man. Well, everybody, thank you very much for listening to our episode today on Society. If you haven't had a chance yet, we released The Pale Blue Eyes on Fresh Film Fridays this past week, and we will see you all next week with Cape Fear.